working with buyer clients and making offers. If you're anything like me, when I was finishing off the Humber College real estate program, I was thinking to myself, why don't I at least know a rough idea of which forms to use in a buyer transaction? Even if you are a few months or even a full year into being a licensed real estate agent, you still might not have been shown a good idea of the forms needed to make an offer for your buyers or how to fill them out. In this video, we'll go over 3 forms used in making the offer, 2 used for representation, and which forms you actually need to send to the listing agent for your offer. Coming up. Hey, what's up guys? Callum Moore here. In this channel I share information that we need to achieve real estate success. If you haven't yet, consider subscribing. At any point during the video, check out the description below. I list links to what we discuss, all my recommendations, and how to contact me down there. Let's get into the video. Okay, so we'll quick paint the picture and put ourselves into a scenario. We've met and built a rapport with our new buyer clients. We got their criteria. We have set up and taken them to multiple showings. We've done our comparative market analysis on a bunch of properties, and they have now finally fell in love with a home and want to make an offer. Perfect. Let's bring up and touch on 5 forms that you'll need to get this ball rolling in the right direction. First, the buyer representation agreement, Form 300. I put this form first before the agreement of purchase and sale because some of the time you might actually have this agreement already signed. A lot of brokerages recommend entering into a BRA even before you start the showing process. This form is between the brokerage and the buyer, and it helps protect everyone involved in the transaction on the buying end. This form will never be sent to the listing brokerage. It's a representation agreement that defines the nature of the relationship between the buyer and the brokerage. They could be a client or they could be a customer. In our hypothetical scenario, they are a client. And again, that's first on the list because at this point in the transaction, you might actually already have it filled out. Next, the agreement of purchase and sale, Form 100. In this video, we're just going to touch on each form you're going to need, and this is great information for sure. But if you're interested in learning the complete process of a buyer and seller transaction, check out the first link in the description below where I go into detail not just the flow of a complete transaction, but the logistics and actions of working with buyer and seller clients here in Ontario from A to Z. There's a value link for the YouTube family as well, so check that out if you want to take control, always have it to refer back to, and really learn what we will face out there once we get our license. Okay, so the agreement of purchase and sale, Form 100. The entire transaction revolves around this form. Consider this form to be the sun and the other forms to be the planets. This is where we outline important information like the offering price, deposits, completion date, title search dates, chattels and fixtures included and excluded, and of course the conditions related to the sale. This will be signed by our clients and ourselves to bind the brokerage. Main form there for sure, but also very important and third on the list, the Form 320, Confirmation of Cooperation and Representation. Also signed by our clients and ourselves to bind the brokerage, the Form 320 outlines representation, which party is represented by each brokerage and who is paying each brokerage. Who's representing who? Who's representing the buyer? Who's representing the seller? And also if the same brokerage is representing both parties, in which case you will be in multiple representation where there are special signatures and acknowledgement needed for that. Of course though, the most important, it also states how the cooperating brokerage, us in our scenario, is going to be compensated for our work. We got to start getting money flowing in if we want to start to grow this business. This form, the 320, is not a huge form, but it's a form we're going to see all the time. Fourth on the list is the offer summary document, Auria Form 801. This is a newer form created in 2015 and it does serve multiple purposes. I won't go too deep into it. I have a short video on the 801 and I'll link it in the cards here. But it helps and has become a normal document you will see presented with the offer since the rise of a single property getting multiple offers. Sometimes you won't see it though because it's not fully accepted as the standard by all brokerages just yet, but I use it on every offer, so it's one of the 5 for me. It's also an easy one for your clients to understand, as one of its main purposes is for organizing and documenting multiple offers, which a lot of our clients have been growing accustomed to, at least at the time of this video, in a big seller's market. Fifth and last on the list is the Auria Form 810, working with a realtor. This is last on the list of 5 because it's not required by all brokerages. This outlines the different relationships the client or customer can have while working with a realtor. Some brokerages might feel that the 320 is more than enough, but others won't, so it'll be very brokerage dependent whether you use this form or not. It's getting acknowledgement from, in our scenario, our buyer clients that we are representing their interests and they understand the brokerage may represent or provide customer service to other sellers and buyers. Short one again there that will require initial and signature from our clients. So those are the 5 forms, and if you use all 5 of these forms, 2 of them, the 300 buyer representation agreement and the 810 working with a realtor, after signed, will be filed and uploaded to your brokerage or sent to your administration department. The other 3, the Form 100, Agreement of Purchase and Sale, 320, Confirmation of Cooperation and Representation, and the 801, Offer Summary Document, will be sent off to the listing agent, hopefully for an accepted offer for our buyer clients that have fell in love with this property. I really hope that helped, and again, check out that first link in the description below if you want more information on working with buyers and sellers here in Ontario, the logistics and actions from A to Z. I put this course together because it was a pit in my stomach even once out in the field. It just really felt like I was always scrambling for this information, so now it's in one place for you to take control and understand the flow of a transaction to really help your clients here in Ontario. What takes brand new agents months or even years to learn, you can learn in a week or even a weekend and just start what you're supposed to be doing, which is building a business around this license. Again, I really hope that helped, and if you want more information on any of the Auria forms, I'll put a playlist right here, so check that out if needed. Thanks for watching. We'll see you in the next one.